7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the podcast from Doug Ground Up Productions with hosts Lady Miz and Ray. This is a universal platform, and there is nothing off limits. We talk about it all, and we keep it real. This is a no judgment zone, so come as you are. If you are a professional, entertainer, author, comedian, entrepreneur, or just someone who wants to get something off their chest, well, let your voice be heard here on From the Ground Up Productions. Sponsorship and other opportunities are available from the Ground Up Productions, turning nothing into something. There's only one way to go from here. And now, here are your hosts, Lady Miz and Ray.
What's up? Hold on a second. Y'all already know what it is. All right. We having some technical difficulties here, but we about to get it together. Don't worry about that. What's good? This is from the Ground Up Productions. There's only one way to go from here. I'm your host, Lady Miz. This is my co-host,
Ray, the Silent Assassin.
This is a place where creators meet, y'all. Y'all know. Our platform is a place where we love to support people grinding from the bottom to the top. We also like to discuss different topics like we're going to be doing here today, okay? We always tell our viewers that your opinion matters. So you got to remember that your opinion matters. So we will be opening up the phone lines if you want to call in and have your voice heard here tonight on the show. And we will be reading your comments out loud. Like I said, we got so much going on. It's so crazy right now.
It's good now.
But another thing is, guys, too, I want to remind anybody out there, if you have anything that you want to promote, your business, an album, anything like that, or if you want to sponsor our show, you could contact us, or you could send us an email at fromthegroundupproductions@gmail.com, and we can discuss those packages that we have available to you. If you have a birthday coming up and you want to have us shout you out for your birthday, we do that too. You know, on your born day. Matter of fact, hold up. Oh my God, I should have known that today was Salvation Records' birthday. I always say their business name so y'all can get to know them.
It's Azriel.
Yes, Azriel, right. So we and I always say Salvation Records. I always go to the business. I gotta find out if they want us to say one or the other, or both is fine. But definitely shout out to Azriel. I believe today is his born day. He didn't tell us he wanted us to shout us out, but we shout you out anyway, brother. Today's topic, guys, is about metal detectors. Should metal detectors be mandatory in public schools or even public places, right? We're going to talk about all of that. And anybody, guys, if you tune in right now, before we get started, we always like to ask you to hit that like button right now. Hit that like button right now. Share this live right now. Share this live. And if you haven't already, make sure you guys subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on all of our social medias. We're under From the Ground Up Productions. I'm also under Lady Miz, and he's under
Ray, the Silent Assassin.
So you can follow us.
It's Ray _ the Silent Assassin.
All right. Got to get it right. Get it right. All right. So we'll be right back after this quick commercial break.
Every day we make moves. Bold moves. Big moves. But to make it through the day, we gotta make that boss move. Our chips will make you move. Like a boss. Because bosses deserve treats too.
That's right, y'all. The chips is now available, so get your chips now. They are ready to be delivered and shipped and all of that. I could deliver them directly depending on where you are, or you could order them and I can have them delivered to you. So chips is ready and they ready to go. So hit me up. You can hit me up on any of my social medias, in my website, ladymiz.com. You can call me if you have my business number. And definitely place your order now. Those chips are available as we speak. Boss Move chips, that's sweet hot barbecue, baby. And what do we have next?
Your book commercial. We have your Lady Miz book commercial coming up next. Stay tuned.
Lady Miz Publishing presents the Lady Miz Book Collection. Get ready to dive into my captivating book collection, perfect for any type of reader. Start exploring today with my must-read book stock that ranges from memoirs, informative, journals, and kids books. Get your copies today by going to Amazon.com to place your order.
Yes, y'all. So I have my books. You could order them directly from me, or you could go directly over to Amazon.com and place your order. I have a lot of other books in store that is coming up, more kids books, and I'm still in the process of redoing Broken Then Healed. Okay, so that's coming soon. But definitely, if you guys want to check out any of my books, y'all could go over to Amazon.com. You could type in Lady Miz or the title of either book, and they are all available for you to purchase. Okay, I want to thank everybody out there. Just to let y'all know, I appreciate you all, the ones that's been supporting me, the ones that's been purchasing my book, sharing it, and just, it is very overwhelming, and you guys have no idea how I appreciate that. Just even the fact that you actually post it on your social media, because listen, some people don't even do that. I scroll through, I'm like, damn, they ain't even post my book, but y'all did. So I appreciate you so much for doing that. It means a lot and it says a lot. So I just want to put that out there. Let me shout out everybody on the check-in right now. Big shout out to, can we get that background music, please? Big shout out to Town Mama in the building. Big shout out to Soraya Alexis in the building. Big shout out to Lot Picasso. Let's get it in the building. Mark, Jersey and Things. Mom, Gloria. Big shout out to Dan in the building. And big shout out to Jay Smooth, Jay Hall over there in Detroit, y'all. I appreciate y'all so much. Thank y'all for pulling up. We're going to get into this topic in a minute, but I do want to remind y'all, like I always say, if you haven't already, hit that like button right now. Hit that like button. Hit that share button, subscribe if you have not subscribed, and follow us, y'all, so we can stay in tune and stay connected. Let's get it. Let's go. Y'all know what it is. We moving on, and I think it's time.
Yeah,
is it time?
So tea of the week.
Oh, tea of the week. So hold on. Oh, we ain't ready. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to get
Somebody
into...
jumped the gun.
All right, so let's get into... Oh, come after the tea. Come after that. All right, yeah. So we're going to get into tea of the week before we get into this topic today, which is, should metal detectors be mandatory in public schools? Before we do that, I didn't forgot. Hold up. We got to put my homie, La Picasso's album just dropped. Big up to Kim Roper in the building, Demo Wet in the building. I see y'all. We're going to post your cities real quick in there. Post your cities so I can shout your cities out. But right now, let's put up La Picasso's joint. He just dropped the Blackball album. Y'all know we've been talking about this for a hot minute, okay? La Picasso, Blackballed album drop. Guys, this album is, I'm going to tell y'all right now, everybody listening to me right now, listen, this is some real New York shit for you, okay? I'm trying to tell you it is. I absolutely love it. Maybe that's what it was. So dope. So dope. I listened to the album, right? Because honestly, I've been so super busy, but I listened to the Blackball album by Lot Picasso. And I said, yo, this right here, when Flex be talking about bring it back to New York, that's what that album is for real, for real. We talking real hip hop. We talking boom bap, but not dated where it sounds dated. Like sometimes when people think of boom bap, they think it's going to sound, right. This album sound like it's meant for today, but real hip hop. Guys, y'all need to check that album out. It's called Blackball by La Picasso. He's talking about everything on there. And I love the messages to the women he got on there. How he's talking about the blue check. Y'all got to check that out. Look, it's so much. But we're going to be bringing him on the show to promote that album. But I want y'all to know, definitely check out that joint, Blackball, La Picasso. Out right now, everywhere. Y'all got to hear it. Fire. Flex. You need this. You need this. He talk about we bringing it back to New York. This is going to bring it all the way back to NY, baby. I'm trying to tell you, let's go. Flex, I ain't got your bomb, but I got the from the ground up bomb over here. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, we're going to get into this tea of the week. Let's go.
What's going on? What's going on? This is tea of the week with Lady Miz and Ray.
All right, y'all. This is tea of the week. We're going to bring y'all a little bit of news before we get into this topic, like we always do. Some of the things that we're going to be discussing, we're going to let the silent assassin take it from here. Okay. All right. So we're going to be talking about a few different things on here that's going on in the world. So, you know, it's crazy. And unfortunately, the world is crazy. So, I mean, we reporting crazy stuff, right? You know what I mean? It's freaking unbelievable. Some of the things that's going on out here. Yes. So we ready?
Yeah, we ready. First thing we're going to talk about is the Allen, Texas shooting. What's his name? Mauricio Garcia, who went into a mall and decided to kill 8 people and wound 7 before the police actually killed him.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And, you know, I think I don't want to know. I'm not going to say it because I'm saying I think when it comes to who he killed, but a lot of people lost their lives. And he just went up in there. I don't even know if there was a motive behind this shooting.
They said he was an extremist. Now, what I did hear, he was an extremist, ex-army extremist.
Okay, clarify exactly what that means.
Yeah, you know, them white supremacy or those type of things that you know, there's no real idea of which kind of extremist he was. They didn't say that, but it was hinted that he was an extremist.
See, we got to be very careful out there. A lot of shootings everywhere, inside, outside. That's why we got to do what we need to do to protect ourselves. What else we got?
We got May 1st. If anybody, I know you had to hear it. Jordan Neely in New York, a Michael Jackson impersonator, was actually choked to death by this guy, Daniel Perry. Look at his eyes. He looked like a
I ain't gonna lie, the eyes don't lie, y'all. Yeah. I'm one that I look into the eyes because they say it tells the person's soul. I definitely believe that. Let's talk about this real quick. We're not gonna stay on this long. I know it's just tea of the week, but I want to just say something here, right? Okay, he was a kid. Supposedly he had some mental health issues. He was struggling. He was hungry. He was doing what he needed to do to survive. I don't know if you guys know this, but his mother was murdered. His mother was murdered from her boyfriend. And that can definitely, when we talk about mental health issues, we got to remember when people go through things, those are the things that affect us. It affects kids. It affects people growing up when you have to deal with certain things like that. Losing your mother and then finding out that they found her body in a briefcase, because that's what that is what happened with him. And when he knocked on the door to tell his mother that he was leaving for school, the boyfriend said she's sleeping right now, but she was already dead. And he is out here trying to survive. He was out here trying to survive, make some money just to feed himself. And he was murdered. And no arrest, as I understand it, to this very moment, has been done. You got anything you want to say about this?
You know he's got something to say about this. I'm going to say this. This has a whole lot of feel like what happened to George Floyd. And we always want to go. They always quick to put something bad about the person who dies. You know, immediately he was a vagrant. He had mental health issues, and they really went out of their way to make sure that they made something good about the killer. He was he's a Marine veteran. They made sure to hide his name, you know. And when we saying mental health, why not say that Daniel Perry had a little mental health issue, that he would think that it was okay to jump up and choke a man, a black man, to death? Well, let's say his mental health was a hero complex.
Yeah, this is definitely something that we got to really think about here. They were protesting out there. They were jumping in front of the trains, all of that stuff, doing what they had to do, and taking a stand. But you know, everybody can play a part. Rather we talk about it, march for it, fight for laws to be changed, speak as we doing today, just to continue to bring awareness to the situation, and call for justice for him. This kid should not have been murdered. And to my understanding, it takes about 35 seconds, they said, when somebody's in that chokehold. 35 seconds, if I got it right, for someone to be killed for as long as they holding them. And I understand, to my understanding, he was in that chokehold for about 15 minutes. I'm trying to figure out, and he had help doing it. Yep. I'm trying to figure out if after the 35 seconds is up, what would you holding him for that long for 15 whole minutes? This is beyond murder. This is beyond murder, and justice need to be served. Point blank, period.
I'm gonna say this as a Navy veteran. I don't consider this guy a hero at all. I don't care what branch of service he served in.
Yes, I hear you. You're just killing random people. This is just freaking horrible. And, you know, anybody that's a part of his family, if they, you know, we definitely send our condolences out to them. And we're going to move on now. All right.
Oh, okay.
So next we have...
Hold on a second.
Big shout out to Wesley. Wesley, what's up, man? I ain't seen you in a while. Big shout out to Godson the Pharaoh on the check-in. I see y'all. I didn't see y'all post your cities. What's good? Post your cities in the comment section so we can shout y'all out right after we do this tea of the week. I'm just waiting on Ray the Silent Assassin. You ready?
Yeah. Oh, let me share this one right here. Yep. Let me put this on the screen right now. Yep, I'm ready. Okay, here we go. Oh.
Just do it.
Yeah. Right now,
I can't take it. I ain't got no patience. Stop telling me I want to see it.
Okay.
Wait, didn't they show the whole thing when he came out? Yo, well, I gotta tell y'all, Genuine busted his ass on stage, and that was kind of crazy. I gotta laugh. It's not funny, but it's like he playing hide go seek with the crowd. You know what I'm saying? He fell into the dark hole, like a sinkhole. We was like, where the hell he go? Now you see him, now you don't. What the hell happened?
He come out the side like a mole rat.
And when he came out, because they ain't show that, but he came out like, yeah. He was showing the girls, I'm still sexy, even though I bust my ass, though. Big shout out to Genuine. I hope he is definitely getting them knees right, okay? But I ain't talking, my knees are not set up the way they used to be either. So who am I to talk? Let's go. What's the next topic?
Supposedly, Chris Brown and Usher, we don't have the video for it, but they got into a disagreement.
Yes, so that's the last thing here that we're going to discuss. Supposedly, Chris Brown was caught on video arguing with Usher at a Vegas birthday party. And I don't know if it has something to do with Tiana Teller or something.
Supposedly.
Rumor has it, or allegedly. That's what they're saying. But I believe that they kind of like, you know, he fell. Yo, Taya got mad jokes. definitely. What was I saying, Taya, with that comment? Just threw me off. Big shout out to Chris Brown and Usher. They are both dope artists. I love them both. And definitely, hopefully, they ain't no real serious beef.
Yeah, they supposedly had performed together at the Lovers and Friends thing.
Right.
Concert.
Right. Yes. So, all right, we're going to get into this topic.
Yeah, you want to do the shout outs for the cities real quick?
Did they put them in there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So let's get it. Let's get it.
Right.
Okay, we can get that background. Well, no.
You're now tuned in to From the Ground Up Productions, broadcasting around the world.
And back again. Let's get it. Y'all know what it is. This is From the Ground Up Productions, y'all. And we are talking, should metal detectors be mandatory in public schools? I want to first shout out everybody on the check-in. Big shout out to, I'm shouting out cities. You know, Demo Wet from Teaneck, New Jersey. Okay. Tanya from Las Vegas. Gloria from Hackensack, New Jersey. Where is that? Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Oh, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Detroit in this mother. I see you. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. Fort Lauderdale in the building. What's up, Shaki? And I know Queens is definitely in the building. From New York to NY on it. That's what I'm talking about. Lot Picasso, I see you. And whoever else, I don't know if I missed, but definitely shout y'all out. Appreciate y'all. Southside Queens is in the building. 845 is definitely in the building. You already know what it is. And today we are talking about, should metal detectors be mandatory in public schools? We're going to get into this topic now. Let's go. All right. Whew. Where do I start? I guess what we should be doing is talking about the pros, I guess. What you think?
Yeah, we start with the pros.
Should we start with the pros?
I don't see a
Well,
here's
the thing. Here's the thing. All right, here's the thing. Tonight, we're tackling, just to bring everybody on the same level here, right? We're talking about the controversy of the metal detectors being in public schools. Some people want them. Some people do not want them. All right. So this is just something that we're going to be talking about. There's a lot of shootings, as y'all see, whether it's in school or out of school. Sorry. There's a lot of incidents with school shootings. And that has been on a rise like crazy in the US. So we believe, and many people believe that, or I can't really speak for everybody because some people don't believe this, but many people believe that metal detectors could help prevent certain tragedies. All right. So there's other people who will argue and think that metal detectors will create a negative type of intimidating environment. And this is why they don't want it. They think that it's going to create something like that for the students and for the kids. But tonight we are diving into this debate. And we're going to talk about the pros and the cons so that we could come to some type of common ground and understand it. All right. And I'm going to give my closing statement, and Ray the Silent Assassin is giving his. So let's first tackle the pros. All right. Why don't you tell me what some of your pros? I like to get you talking first because I see that gets him speaking more. So I'm gonna go to.
She always throwing me right on the spot. Hey, let's start right out, Ray.
Nah, because you talk a little bit more when I ask you first.
I know one of the pros is you when kids come into the school, the first pro is you make sure that there are no weapons. That's the biggest pro.
Right.
You know, the safety is important.
Absolutely. The pros also, metal detectors can prevent guns and other weapons from being brought into the school.
Yeah, anything with metal.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, it doesn't always mean a gun or a knife. See, anything of metal can be used as a weapon.
Absolutely.
You know, with the ingenuity of these kids nowadays, they can make that. You know, the internet is teaching them everything.
That's a fact. That is a fact. Please, they can make that in school if they got a 3D machine that prints.
But that wouldn't be metal.
Oh, you're right. Absolutely. It would be plastic. But I heard they can still use that. Listen, guys, they use metal detectors. We know this at airports, at courthouses, and other public places. So I don't understand, if it's a public school and we know that shootings is on the rise in the US, then why would that be an issue? I'm not understanding. But right now we are talking about the pros. All right. So having the metal detector in the schools, it can really eliminate them being able to bring these objects into the school environment. These weapons, or any other weapon that's dangerous, would you say?
Yeah, knives.
Yeah, anything, anything else from your standpoint that you could think of as far as the pros?
I would say like I said, the biggest pro is anything metal. It just stops, because that's all it really does. It does. It's a deterrent now, because if the kids see that they got to go through this every day, they're less likely to bring a weapon to school.
That's the point right there. You just hit it right on the nail, okay? They can install these at the entrance of the building where students and teachers and visitors are required to pass through them before they enter in the school, right? So that's a pro, because they're going to be less likely to bring something because they're going to be afraid that they're going to be that they're going to get caught. So that is definitely a pro when it comes to bringing in these weapons, these guns, This would allow like school officials to identify any type of or compensate something if they have any type of dangerous weapons or guns or anything before they enter the building. So that's why that's a pro. When you are what's the word that I'm looking for? When you are scanning, when you what does it the metal detector scans, right?
No. Yeah, well, I wouldn't call it a scan, but all it does is when you walk through it detects.
Right, it went detect. That's what. I was trying to think. I'm like, okay, that's a part of the damn topic. But definitely, you want to be able to make sure that before they enter that building, that everybody is safe. There's nobody coming in there with anything that can harm you.
I want to answer Godson Farrows. He said, "What about the plastic guns that people learn to hand build from YouTube?" In my understanding,
that's a good
them
one.
3D guns, they normally only allow because it's plastic. They probably only get one shot off, if two at the most,
right?
And they're not really accurate.
Right. I agree with that. And what else are they talking about? Let's read some of these comments here before I get to these other things.
Wesley Johnson said it puts you one step ahead of the danger.
That's my point, Wesley. And then I'm gonna talk about some of the cons that people have as well too. But like you said, put you one step ahead of the danger. But then Godson, right, on the other hand, is saying that they could still bring plastic guns in there. So is it But I mean, I understand that part, but look, we are trying to decrease. It doesn't mean that we're going to totally eliminate, but I'd rather see a decrease than not doing nothing at all, right? To me, not doing nothing at all is not going to keep our kids safe. I don't believe that at all. If a student is attempting to bring a gun into school, the metal detectors is going to sound off the alarm. Right. So they're going to be alert. The schools and the school officials are going to be alerted if they bring that on there onto the school. I was going to say the campus, but the campus is a school too. So, in my opinion, it's all of the same, but it definitely will alert the school officials that a weapon is present in there, and the student can be stopped. They can also search the student, and the gun could actually be taken away so that before anybody get harmed. So that's the pro in having that metal detector there. OK, it's about being proactive. That's the most important thing. Being proactive, extremely important. You had something to say?
Yeah, I got two things, because Godson Farrell said. He said, if someone is serious, how can they really be stopped?
Well, good question. If someone is serious, how can they really be stopped? First and foremost, you can't sit here and say that you're going to be able to totally control every single thing. Right. But you can. That's why I said be proactive, because at the end of the day, if you ain't taking no measures to be protected, then you are opening up the door for that to definitely happen without any being proactive. I'm gonna keep going back to that. You're opening up the door to say, hey, the hell with it, because it's a possibility that you might be able to have a plastic gun. We just gonna say the hell with doing anything about it. Okay, the hell with the detecting if you could bring an actual gun or a knife or any other weapon in here, because it's a possibility somebody could create a fake plastic one. To me, I don't know how you feel. We got, matter of fact, open up the phone lines. To me, that doesn't make any sense to me. That's my take on it. If you feel different, I understand that, right? And this is what this show is about. It's not just about how we feel, it's about how you feel too. But of course, I'm telling you, I'm pretty sure you can already tell what side I stand on when it comes to this. I'm definitely on the side of protecting the kids and protecting our lives. And let me just explain something to you and why I even decided to do this topic today. At our son's school, a kid actually gave a fake report and said that there was an active shooter in the building. Okay, they shut the schools down, the roads. Us as parents could not get into the school to get our kids. Our kids were scared. I see military trucks up in there. All the cops was in the school with their guns out. They were going into classes. The kids had to come. Everything that you see on TV was what it was. And the thing is, it's very scary when you know your child is sitting up in there and they're not letting you get to your kid and you don't know what the hell is going on. So for me, my question is, what measures is being taken to make sure that the kids are being safe? And how are we going to be proactive to do such a thing? If we make excuses of why we can't do anything, then you're only allowing more things to happen freely. At least try to decrease it.
Now, I'm going to get into this. We did mention knives, but Town Mama said, don't forget about the knives. And I'm going to be honest, when I hear people say about the knives, what would you rather go up against? Because I go up against a knife any day than somebody carrying a handgun or what a lot of these kids are coming to school with AR-15s.
Right.
Give me the knife any day.
Right. I mean, hey, listen, I understand. Did you put the... Guys, we're going to open up the phone lines. Y'all could keep putting your comments in there. If you want to call and speak your piece on this topic about how you feel about it, the phone lines will be open. That number is 845-800-9095. The phone lines is open if you want to call in and tell us, what do you think? Do you think that metal detectors should be mandatory in public schools or not? And explain your answer, yes or no, and why, right? Because as we said before, these metal detectors, when we talk about the pros of it, it definitely can deter potential attackers from coming in and shooting up the damn place. Let's just keep it a buck real quick, right? And not try to sugarcoat it. Shooting up and killing people. Point blank. All right? So I think they are less likely to bring a weapon into the building if there are metal detectors there. Okay? They're going to think twice about doing that. Okay? They could provide a sense of security for students and staff. Students and staff.
Yeah. Hey.
Okay.
Well, we got a call on the line. Caller, state your name and where you're from.
Wes, Bethlehem, PA.
Oh, what's good, Wes? I haven't seen you in a while. How you doing tonight, brother?
I know. I'm keeping a low profile. I just resurfaced.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad to see you back at the surface with us. Okay. So tell us your take on this about metal detectors. Do you think they should be or should not be mandatory in public schools?
At one point, they were mandated back in the early 80s. I want to say 85 and on. For someone that worked for the New York City Division of School Safety and NYPD, it was designed to be a deterrent, but it was installed with levels. So everybody says walk through the metal detector, but when that goes off, that's supposed to trigger a secondary level where you're then hand wronged. Which gives you that secondary level. After that, you can be removed or refused into the building. Unfortunately, what a lot of the kids did is they hid the weapons under the vehicles outside.
Yep. I know that's a fact.
Once all the kids came in, then we had to go outside and look under the wheels of tires and cars, and that's where we found most of the weapons are. But it was something that was necessary. For those that could reach it, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
wow.
That's where you could reach it.
In the dirt of the trees and all that.
I've had people try to sneak in pets.
Pets?
Pets walk right through the metal detector with a dog in a coat. And the only reason they realize is because the metal on the zip of the jacket went off. But you have to understand, administration can set the level of continuities with those machines. So if they wanted to detect the gun, they can set it for that. If they wanted to set it for a knife, they can. It can be set for what type of metal you're looking for.
Okay. Well, thank you for dropping that info for us. And let me ask you this. So you're educating us because you work for state again. Where you work again?
I worked with NYPD School Safety Division.
Okay. NYPD School Safety Division. So how can I say this? When it comes to people who believe that we shouldn't have metal detectors, can you explain how you feel having them? Does it make you feel more secure, or it doesn't make a difference?
It can provide a false sense of security if you're not vigilant with what you're doing. And it can be a great deterrent for that kid thinking about bringing it in there. And that system is not going to stop them, because there are other ways, which I won't go into detail. But those that oppose that system feel that it's going to make them stand out as a school. Remember, that principal name is behind that. So at the end of the year, when he turns in that report to the state, he doesn't want to see all those weapons on that report.
Yes. See? Okay. I love it. And I'm glad you broke that down so good. Tell Mama said, wow, great info. D. Moet said, I'm sorry, I thought it was Tell Mama. D. Moet said, wow, great info. Definitely great information. And I didn't know that you could have it look for a specific thing. I thought it just detected just metal, period. No,
you can detect it for different levels of metal. When it's being calibrated, you can detect it. So they may say, we're going to be looking for knives today. So you can set that machine. And also remember, there's one more deterrent. There's the x-ray machine for the book bags. For those of you that don't know, the kid goes one way and the book bag goes through another machine. It's similar to the ones that they use at the airport. Yes. And that will give you another level of security, because now you separate the kid from the bag.
Yes. I'm all for it, Wesley. I believe that we definitely need it.
You definitely need it. Yes, you definitely need it. But with the plastic weapons, that's where you do the wand pat down. And if it's on them physically, you're more than likely going to bang into it.
There you go. God's son to Pharaoh. I know you was asking that, and we have somebody that works in the NYPD department, and he basically is saying that's the answer to your question is when it comes to the plastic guns, okay, they patting you down for that. So if it picks up something, if it detects something out of the ordinary, that's where they pat you down. So all the measures is being taken to ensure people's safety. And I'm all for that before anything else.
Yeah, I would hope they would keep them. They do help.
Right. But see, certain areas, they do not have them. Like up here where we are in Orange County, they might have it in Newburgh, right? Because maybe Newburgh crime is a little bit higher. But I have to say this, guys, and I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm not trying to make this a race thing, because it is not a race thing. But because when you live in the suburbs, people think that in the suburbs, it is not needed. But a lot of them school shootings have come from some of the kids that was actually born in these areas. Well,
I'm gonna say this, because when you look at a lot of these suburbs, especially these ones with the school shootings, they're not happening in the city, especially the ones with the ARs and all. Those are happening in the suburbs.
So basically, at the end of the day, when you think about that, I heard someone say, no, I'm gonna just keep it blunt with y'all. A parent out there when we was out at the school said, "Oh, these people coming up here to our city. This is our town. We built this town. These people are coming up to our city, and we built this town and this and that." So he was blaming that on as if it was a certain group of people. But at the end of the day, not only thing that really mattered was the safety for every kid in that building, no matter where they were from, what color that they were, or anything. We're talking about human lives here. And I thought that that person was very ignorant, and it was a very disgusting statement to make at a time where parents were afraid for their kids' lives. Now, thank God it was a hoax, right? But what if it wasn't? What if it wasn't? And what measures are being taken to ensure that these kids are being safe? Instead of making an excuse for not being able to or not having one, we should be fighting to make sure that every school has it.
But that's the same argument when a child get caught with a weapon and he or she, that family has to come up there for that kid and he's been placed under arrest. Then the blame becomes, well, there had to be a reason for my child bringing this weapon here. Not about let's address the issue of him getting caught with a weapon. We know there was a reason, but it's often blamed. And yeah, when you live in a small rural towns, it's much easier because there's no focus up there. You're right. Look at all of the places where a lot of the shootings are.
Exactly.
I'm going to be honest now that you said that, because if a parent is the one that says, why did my son or daughter bring a weapon to school? I mean, you want to fix part of the issue with that is start holding the parents accountable. Yes. When they kids come to school with weapons.
Absolutely. First, I say it always starts at home with education, right? Educating your kid, understanding the danger. Okay, because I know we talk. I'm for guns in the sense of having your license and making sure that you are a responsible person to have one. I don't think that kids should be playing with guns, should have access to them, and I don't think that parents should be promoting that to their kids. If they're making an excuse of why the parent, why did my kid have to bring it in the first place? To me, that's now making an excuse for the behavior. You can address that. Nobody's saying that, but that shouldn't be the first thing that we're talking about here. We should be addressing the fact that the gun was actually bought. How did he get access to that weapon? Okay, exactly. And first and foremost, and everybody's safety. And then once that is done, we can address why he did it. You know, that's my opinion. And look, I could be wrong, and I'm okay with that. If somebody has something to say, hey, no, this is, or they got their opinion and they want to shed it or speak their piece, it's okay. But I'm telling you how I see it. No, that should not be the first thing that somebody should be bringing up.
I will say this, though, because I disagree with you at one point. Kids should have access to guns, but it should be properly and trained. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, a lot of these kids are getting access to a gun and nobody's telling them the real danger of owning one or even picking one up.
Well, I mean, when you say kids, at what age improperly and trained? I don't know if y'all seen, and Wesley, let me know. I don't know if you guys seen where I think in Asia, they're teaching the kids how to put in it's an actual school, a classroom where they're teaching them how to take apart the gun, load the gun, and all of that stuff. This is what they're actually teaching their kids in school now. What do y'all think about that?
You said something key. You said they're teaching them, whereas for our children, they're learning it. Guess where they're learning it? On the internet.
Well,
look
on
at
the
that
streets.
Difference. On the streets.
Yeah, there you go. So
said something. You said they're teaching them. Yeah. Whereas for our inner city youth, they're not being taught. They're learning it.
That's true. Yep. And that's another reason why a lot of innocent bystanders also get shot, because they're shooting weapons that they don't even know how to properly handle.
Exactly. Shooting a gun up in the hand, don't think the bullets is not going to come down with the same velocity is something that, just by the way some of these kids hold their weapons. Yep. They see it in a movie or they see it in a video and they think, oh, I can go and do that. I can't tell you how many times I go to the range and still see the same behavior.
And sometimes it's adults doing it.
They're trying to be Woochie Doughboy with the gun to the side and they think it's a rap video. It ain't a rap video. This is real life.
I went to ranges where I seen adults doing that. Like they got the gun to the side. Like, come on, for real? What are you in here for?
Trying to be gangster.
Yes, that's the reality of it.
Yeah, man.
Keep the metal detectors, and if you can't get them, you know what? It's a deterrent. Ask for it. You paying taxes? Ask for it. And if there's any question, you need them just to deter for as a level of safety. And you can put as many levels in there as you want to. Doesn't mean it's going to stop it, but it will deter it.
There you have it. That's right. Wesley, thank you so much for calling in and giving us your input and educating us. We appreciate you and hope to see you back here, chopping it up with us. I'm glad you came to the surface.
I enjoy your topic.
Thank you so much. All right. Enjoy the rest of your night.
You too.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Yes, y'all. So that was Wesley out there in PA. So he dropped a lot of good information there and stuff like that. And I'm all for it. And he's right. We're taxpayers. At the end of the day, we have to speak up for what we want because our voice matters. What we want matters too. What was I going to say? Again, the metal detectors we already said this, it can deter like attackers from even entering the school. Right. So that is extremely important. So again, I'm for it. I'm 100% for it. I'm gonna keep it all the way real with y'all. I think it's safety over everything else. Let me tell y'all something. And I say this all the time. Well, lately I've been saying it a lot more. When I go to the airport, I'm not complaining. What you do? Oh, that's you. Oh, okay. I'm like, what is that? Okay. All right, we gotta take the. All right, y'all. We got a caller in the building, on the phone, not in the building. Y'all know me. What's good? Caller can hear me?
Yep.
State your name. Where you calling from?
Yeah, I think they should put metal detectors on my Blackball album, baby, because it's dangerous.
Stop playing. Big shout out. All right, we already know what it is. It's La Picasso on the line. What's good? Blackball album is super dope. All right. Yep. So talk to us real quick about this topic and your take on this. Do you believe that metal detectors should be mandatory in public schools?
Yeah, they definitely should be. You know what I'm saying?
And why do you feel that?
Man, so I mean, anything can happen outside, you know what I'm saying? Like always, but inside, you make inside safe. You know what I'm saying? I know they could probably, and like Homeboy has said, it's a deterrent. You know what I mean? But that ain't gonna stop shit, but it's gonna at least make people a little safer inside. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Not for nothing, because they added police to be a deterrent, and that didn't work. Police walking around and it didn't really scare these kids. It's like, I'll deal with the cops, They still shooting with the cops in the school.
Yeah, I mean, that's true, but you will have, imagine how many more people would be trying it with the fear of getting caught or something like that, or not being able for it to follow all the way through. So when you
at least you got somebody that could shoot back. You know what I'm saying?
Not true.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna explain to you why. Mm-hmm. Remember in Florida when when the guy came into the school, shot up all those kids, the 12 kids? There was a cop there. He hid outside.
Oh wow! Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So not everybody is trying to be a hero. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody's trying to be a hero.
That nigga was like, I'm trying to live. I ain't expect nothing to really happen.
He stayed his ass outside and hid behind the car.
And I feel bad. Maybe not everybody is cut out for that type of job.
Be in that job.
Yeah, I mean, then they shouldn't be.
Yeah, definitely looking out for kids. You shouldn't be on that job.
Right. I agree 100%. 100%.
You could be in the bank or something and hide. Like, go ahead, take the money. I ain't losing my life.
I agree with that.
Well, let me say this to y'all. This is what I was in the middle of saying right before you called, Lotto. Here's the deal. When I'm at the airport, I'm never complaining that, you know what? Why I got to go through all this after 9/11 and after all these things be happening. My safety, and I'm sure everybody else's safety, is just as important. I'm never on the phone complaining to the credit card company. Why are you asking me all these questions, trying to identify that it's really me? I understand that every one of these measures that's being taken is for the safety for me. So why would I actually complain about this? Why would I complain about things that is being put in place, a system that is being put in place to ensure that me and everybody else around us at that moment is safe? Why complain about that?
No, that's a great way to think. I got to start being more patient and think like that.
No, you really do. Why? You be complaining at the airport?
I complain about everything.
You know what? I used to complain about that, and I used to complain about the credit cards until I said, you know what, this is for my safety. And then when I realized that people were actually trying to scam for my cards and stuff, and I'm like, oh shit, they didn't get away with it. Look, they caught them. So there's things in place. It helps us. We can't think like that.
No, you're right. You're right. Yeah, that's wise words, you know. Now I know that's something I got to work on, being patient anyway. So you know what I mean. That's just one of my hangups.
Yes, well, we'll get to it, Lotto. Before you get blackballed like the album. So, tell us real quick a little bit about the album before you get up out of here.
You know, it's blackball. I'm trying to like say what the industry don't want us to say. You know, I'm trying to I'm touching on different subjects, like you said, the blue check. Talk about on Instagram, like where right now it's you know, you can pay for your talent. Basically, you're paying for your spins. You're paying to go in the DJs want you to come in the club and buy bottles and you know what I mean. I mean, just every day. It's just the artist as a whole now. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And you know, for that, and you know, like the song we got on the album, "They're Afraid of Our Love." That's like they don't want us to make that kind of music and to love each other. So we made a song like that. Then I got another song. You Are Woman, so I'm just bigging up the woman. They don't want us to big up. You know what I mean? They want us to call women bitches, and you know what I mean? So yeah, that's this album is just bigging up women and just, you know, just about subject matter, cancel culture, and fuck cancel culture. I'll say anything. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or I don't want to say it on the show to get it banned, but you know, they made us not say the F word. Sometimes we're not talking about gay people when we say the F word. We be like, oh, that's some effing ass shit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So everything, it's just like nigga. We say nigga. We're not calling each other slaves. You know what I'm saying? So they just bugging with some of this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. So we definitely gonna be bringing you on the show to promote that joint. So everybody, stay tuned for that. And I can't wait. Love the album. Album is super dope. Definitely New York style. And yeah. Definitely.
Thank you for the cover, and thank you, Ray, too, for your idea with the split on the cover.
Yeah, the ball, yeah. Two minds is better than one, absolutely.
Exactly.
All right.
All right, y'all.
Okay, thanks for calling in. Enjoy the rest of your night.
All right, you too.
Right, peace.
Later.
So, you want to read some of these comments, or should I get to these cons real quick? Anything we're addressing real quick?
Yeah, let me go back to Tanya said that most states at the age of 18, they can purchase handguns. They're now attempting to change that to 21.
Wow. You know what's so funny? Because I applied for my gun license. You know, I need to call them. I should have been. I think they got that on a pause for a second. I mean, you know, I ain't gonna get into that right now. Let's get to the cons of having metal detectors. For those who are out there, again, I know that you heard my take, and of course, I'm going to advocate for having them in there. So I'm gonna speak more on that than anything else. But I do understand that other people might feel differently, and I do respect other people's opinions, although they might not respect mine. Okay, but here are some of the cons that I want to go over with you guys. That some people feel that reasons why there should not be metal detectors in schools. And one of them is they feel that it is too expensive to have and also to install and maintain. This is some of the reasons why people do not believe in having metal detectors in school.
I'm going to say this. Say that to the families who got to bury their kids.
There you go. That's a fact. That is a whole fact. Okay. Metal detectors can be expensive to install in schools and maintain in schools due to the cost of equipment, installation, and staff are required to also operate them. Additionally, routines like maintenance routines and stuff like that need to be done. Repairs have to be done to them. Okay. So this is an ongoing expense to have metal detectors there. The cost could be significant when it comes to, the barriers for the schools, and it definitely can limit budget and funding. So, this is for people. I'm speaking for the ones who don't want them there. The ones who don't want them there, these are the things that they're thinking about why they do not want them there.
I got a comment to that too,
Sure, yes,
especially when we're talking about finance. Wesley said you can get grants from the feds, no excuse.
I love that. Thank you. Okay, thank you, Wesley. Thank you, Wesley. Okay, Wesley, you need to come up here to Orange County, New York. We need somebody like you up here speaking. I could try to go in there speaking. I'm a little extra. I got a little sprinkled hood in me. Like, I know how to be professional and all of that stuff, but then that hood might just seep out. That's why I'd be like, should I go? I don't know. But anyway, but that's a great point. I absolutely love that point, Wesley. Thank you so much for that, because I didn't know that. So that's something that I can actually bring up. I'll look into and bring up when it comes to grants and stuff like that, because safety first. Now, another thing that people believe, and you tell me what you think about that, because your statement was on point. The cons of having metal detectors is that it creates a negative, intimidating environment for students and staff. What you think about that? That's
the dumbest thing I ever heard. Because a kid coming to school is negative, intimidating when they got that gun pointed down at somebody's face.
Absolutely. They say that the the presence of metal detectors in public schools can create a negative and intimidating environments for students and for staff. Students may feel that they are being treated as potential criminals, which can lead to feeling anxiety and discomfort. And furthermore, the process of passing through these metal detectors can be time consuming. So they're thinking about time and stuff like that when it comes to that. It might take too much time. It might disrupt the school days. And it's that when that happens, they feel that it's going to be leading to frustration and resentment amongst the students and staff. What do you think about all of that?
That is an excuse. I'm going to tell you about kids. Kids are very impressionable. And if you start out the school year and letting them know what this is for, they'll get to understanding. No matter how young, all the way through high school, they'll understand when they're being told the reason. Right.
I agree. Like, listen, I'm just telling you the cons that they are saying out there. These are some of the things that people are fighting for, why they don't want it.
They're making an excuse for people are putting their own fears onto their children instead of just letting kids understand. Kids are easily understood when they are taught something and the reason for it. Right.
So, some of the things that they thinking is, that the people are saying that do not want the metal detectors in school is that the metal detectors can lead to longer wait times and delay school entrance, right? So they're thinking that the process of passing through the metal detectors in these public schools can create a longer wait time, delay school entrance, because they think that individuals will be screened individually, which I guess they have to be, which can take time, especially during a busy period day or something like that, or a busy school day. This is why they don't want them.
I'm gonna say this because you mentioned it too, the kids feeling, what was it, anxiety and all of that. When you look at these school shootings, right? What do you even the one where it happened in our son's school? The anxiety was still there, even though nothing happened. Just seeing the cops coming to the school, I watched kids walk out crying.
Yeah, right. Me too.
So you can't tell me that there's not going to be anxiety. It's going to be anxiety either way. I'd rather my kids have anxiety about knowing, hey, you're doing your best you can to make sure I'm safe than to not have anything on all and see cops running through your school with AR-15s.
Love it. Absolutely. Okay? Because guess what? Time and money over safety and lives. What's up, y'all? I thought all lives mattered. Why is time and money more important than safety and lives? That's the question.
I'm gonna get this because I went to school with metal detectors, and it didn't seem like it took that long for us. We went right to the next class. It wasn't a big thing. Only time they stop people is when they seen something that's like, oh, Let me hear. And like Wes said, they gave you the wand because I got warned a few times. It was like, just it's an excuse.
It is. Soraya, what Soraya say?
So Soraya said, I think metal detectors are a short-term fix, a band-aid to the real problem. It might help, but it's not going to fully solve the problem.
Okay.
That is true. I agree with that.
I agree with that, but it's a start. It's definitely a start. I mean, listen, you know what I heard? I heard that in Atlanta. I don't know if there's anybody right now tuned in here from Atlanta. But not just Atlanta, I'm sorry, the whole state of Georgia. I heard that the metal detectors is mandatory out there, and they all have to have clear book bags. They cannot have book bags that are not see-through. This is in the state of Georgia. So for me, I'm with that too. I'm all for it. Some people go, I don't want nobody seeing what I got. You're violating my privacy. What type of privacy do you really need? What's in your bag besides your books and the stuff you need for school that you need to be hiding something? I don't understand it.
You know what? I'm going to tell you, that's the problem now. And a lot of the parents there who always scream about their kids' privacy are the same ones that knock on their kids' door before they walk in it. Nah, my kid has to understand there's no such thing as privacy in here.
Well, I knock on the door only because if they naked, I don't want to just barge in. But I see what you're saying. You ain't going to just be locking me out my shit.
Yeah. These are the same parents that don't check their kids' stuff.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Tell mama, you put tampons there. That's a natural woman bodily function. Why hide that? And
not for nothing, tell mama, you can put tampons in a nice little Ziploc thing where it is kind of sealed up and they can see that it's a small little thing. If they feel like a small little wallet, if they feel like, okay, we need to see what's in that because they have a concern, they can always open it, zip it, zip it back up and you go about your business. It's not for everybody to see. But like Ray said, that is a natural thing. We can't keep making these excuses to allow them to not do the things that needs to be done to protect our kids while they are in school. No kid and no parent should have to worry about sending their kid off to learn and wondering if they're going to come back alive. This is disturbing. This needs to stop. And we here in America, we are not living in the times that we used to live in before. So if anybody out there think that this is bad or this is just the hood, guns, no, it's not about that. It's about what the world that we live in today and all these school shootings and all these shootings in public places, period, is getting way out of control. And there is nothing to be done or being done to make sure that this doesn't happen. We have to start somewhere.
I'm going to read two comments, but the second one, I'm going to save it because I got something to say to it. So Demo West said, it costs cheaper to put metal detectors than bury across the country. Not doing the right thing. Safety first. Kids matter.
Absolutely. I agree with that.
And then Godson the Pharaoh said, the youth must be targets for people's mental issues, etc. Weapons been in school since Little House on the Prairie. The government can stop the violence in schools. They choose not to.
Ooh.
I'm going to say
this. He dropping bombs on y'all tonight.
I'm going to say this. I totally agree with Godson. The issue with that, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna say this. I think it's an agenda because every time right now, when you look at what's happening around America, they're doing everything they can to remove weapons from people's homes, no matter what. They're really trying to remove the Second Amendment. So what would get people to really stand up and fight against the Second Amendment is something happening to kids. And then you start putting kids in the way, and then everybody's saying, "No, let's hurry up and get the guns." But we got to remember one thing about the Second Amendment. People forget. Not only was it against protecting yourself, but it was also against protecting yourself from the government.
Ooh. So
if the government takes your guns from you, and they make sure you don't have guns, who's protecting you from the government? So and what they do is, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I looked this up. The average American, the average person in America only reads at the 7th and 8th grade level. And then the reason I say this is that's why if you're not really able to read or you don't read, you're going to get your information from what? The news. You're going to get your information from TV. And what better way to control people by giving them the lies or the stories they want to hear?
Ray is dropping some jewels tonight, y'all.
So when we put this on, when we start we have people saying, hey, let's get rid of guns, let's get rid of guns. They're using our kids as pawns. And I'm not saying that it's each and every time, but you got to look at what happens when this happens. The same, you look at, all you got to do is look down at the states that it's happening and then look at DC, and you'll see the Republicans and Democrats fighting over who controls guns. And then and each time, all they do is give their condolences, but nobody's trying to actually make common sense and a common sense way to fix it. Because once you figure out a common sense way to fix it, they no longer have anything to fight over.
Ray, the silent assassin, has spoken. Okay, that's why they call him the silent assassin. He dropping them jewels, and I love that. You really broke it down. You actually made me think about the fact of using our kids and why they. Oh, that was deep. That was deep. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. I love it. So the debate on metal detectors being mandatory in schools, supporters argue that metal detectors are necessary. They're a necessary measure to prevent school shootings and to ensure the school safety. And the other people argue that the metal detectors could create a negative and intimidating environment, and that other measures should be taken. It can cause different type of mental health issues and stuff like that. And I'm not even with that. You know, at the end of the day, this debate raises questions about the measures that should be taken to prevent school shootings and how we are going to balance the safety with creating a positive school environment. If you do come across this podcast, we want to know what your thoughts are. If you're not tuned in live with us, tell us, what do you think about this situation here? We got some more.
Yeah, I put that up already.
Oh, okay. What did Tanya say about the facts?
She said facts.
Oh.
Victims of crimes pay out $50,000 each. If you do the math, it's cheaper to add the metal detectors. Yeah. Y'all know I'm with this. That's what I'm talking about. 100%. 100%. We're going to leave y'all with this closing statement. I'm going to put this picture up here. I want y'all to look at this picture very closely. And I want you to tell me, which one do you think is worse as I tell y'all my closing statement? Which one do you think is worse? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, as we sit here today, schools across the country are struggling with the question on how to keep our children safe. In recent years, we've seen a disturbing rise in the number of school shootings, leaving parents, teachers, and students feeling scared and vulnerable. The solution to this problem is not a simple one, but I believe that metal detectors in our public schools can be a crucial step in the right direction. By screening individuals for weapons before they enter the building, we can significantly reduce the likelihood of violent incidents occurring. I said reduce. I didn't say eliminate, y'all. Okay? I said reduce, not eliminate. Okay? Some may argue that metal detectors are too expensive or time consuming, but can we really put a freaking price on our kids' safety? Can we put a price on their safety? I don't think so. We've seen devastating effects of school shootings, and any measure that can help prevent them from happening, we should be taken very seriously. All right? The presence of metal detectors can actually create a sense of security for students and staff. When students know that their school is taking active measures to keep them safe, they can focus more on learning and less on worrying about their safety. So in conclusion, I urge you to consider the importance of metal detectors in public schools. We owe it to our children to provide them with a safe and secure learning environment. And metal detectors could be a crucial tool in achieving that goal.
Let's work together to protect our children and prevent further tragedies. So you look at that picture. Which one is worse to you? Which one is worse to you? All right. Double R, Ray the Silent Assassin. Do you have any final words before we get up out of here?
Yeah, I got one. I gotta say this. Safety starts at home first. A lot of times our parents are not taking the time out to talk to their kids. You know, in order for your kids to be safe in school, you got to be willing to actually sit down and talk to your kids. Because sometimes, it was in one of the comments earlier that sometimes the people that are saying it's not my kids are the ones whose kids is actually doing it.
That's deep.
You know, so I totally agree with metal detectors in the school, but in order to really stop violence, we got to really first start applying more money to educating our kids the right way. We got to find ways to educate our kids and have our kids more interested in school than their telephones. You know, they have taken anything the kids were really interested in outside of math and English, art, those type of programs, music, and a lot of schools, they have removed that. So kids are bored. You know, so what do you do when you're bored? Some kids want to they poke fun, they make jokes with each other. Some other kids may not like it. And then you don't know how this kid is going to react to it. You know, and then that's what because you got to think now we're making a big deal about bullying. When we grew up, there was no such thing as a bully. The bullies got punched in their face after a while, you know? But yeah, I think a lot of it is just, it has to start at home. We need metal detectors, yes, but we also need personal responsibility. We need parent responsibility. We got to also raise our kids that the choices you make is your responsibility. And I'm going to leave it at that.
I like that as a closing statement. I think that is 100%. Definitely. I love what you brought to the table here. The educating part of it too. You know, you said some really good things that we all should think about for the ones who don't really care that this is happening because they think it's going to take away their rights, but it's at the sacrifice of our kids' lives. And we have to think about that. Okay. Again, everybody has a right to feel how they want to feel, and that's okay. Just like we do. Okay. Are we ready? Do we got it in there? What? You got me over here talking. You were supposed to be here. But at the end of the day, yeah. So that's what it is, y'all. So again, you know, just to backtrack a little bit, I want to thank everybody who tuned in. I want to thank everybody who called in, Wesley, Lotto, you know, Tanya, everybody who gave your comments and spoke your piece on this. Your statement makes a big difference, but y'all also brought up some very good points too about things that, what, how can I put it? The points that some of y'all brought up was to say, it's not going to really totally stop it. And those are great points. Because you got to remember something. We can't control everything. We cannot control every single thing, but we can try to start somewhere. Okay. That's the thing. We could try to start somewhere. Ray the Silent Assassin is pulling up one of the joints. We are ending the show with one of my songs. I don't know if he, you know, you want to just try it from the YouTube? See if it's there. Well, let's see if we could do it from the YouTube and play it from there. I'm trying to think which one did I say I wanted to do?
On God.
No, the other one. I don't remember. Tell me what you're waiting on. You ain't gotta be my lover. You ain't gotta be my that one.
Okay, I forgot what album that's on.
That's on the first one. Right now we pulling that joint up. Yeah, check that joint right there. It's crazy because I be forgetting. Nothing to lose. I be forgetting, y'all. So guys, listen, I want to thank y'all for tuning in From the Ground Up Productions. Today's topic was about metal detectors in school. I know it's a complex and controversial topic, but I think that we definitely is one that we should have. And everybody argument is valid on both sides. I'm not saying that it's not. Y'all do know what side that I stand on, what Ray the Silent Assassin stand on. So, again, we may not all see eye to eye, but I'm sure one thing we can all have in common is that people's lives, everybody's lives matter, especially our kids, and their safety comes first before anything else, before money, before how much time it takes. That's so important. And ultimately, the decision when it comes to this should really be coming from people like the stakeholders, the students, the parents, the teachers, and the administrators, right? We have to all come together as adults, have this adult conversation, and do what is best for our children, not what is best for our pockets, okay? What's best for our children. All right, good.
Yep,
all right. So I want to thank y'all for tuning in. We're going to play one of my joints and end the show with this song. This is called Nothing to Lose. This is off my first album release. This was off of the Freedom of Expression album. And join us next week when we tackle another topic. And we do have some interviews coming up, so look out for that. We have a lot of interviews coming up, actually. So look out for that. And this joint here we're about to play for you is my song, Lady Miz, and this is Nothing to Lose off the first album, Freedom of Expression.
Yeah, hold up, tell me what you waiting on. You ain't gotta be my lover, we ain't gotta be together. We just need somebody better to lean on. And I think that that's you. Oh, baby, I can make you better. Got something to prove. You got nothing to lose. Want me seeing you, yeah. Oh, girl, you got nothing to lose. You got everything to get, yeah. Oh, girl, you got nothing to lose.
I'm a queen that been waiting on a king to scoop me up underneath his wing. But I've been hesitating, patiently waiting and speculating. Want you to myself, wanna go steady instead of dating. You's a fine brother, I see you can't see another. I'm trying to take it further, I think I should be your lover. We got nothing to lose, I'm tired of acting confused. I've been playing it by the rules, but I'm ready to make the moves. You can make me better, I can make you better. Hold you down through the storms and even the bad weather. I can stand the rain, take the pleasure with pain. Let you lead like a man and I won't even complain. Wifey material, my presence is imperial. I'm ride or die, up in the whip, take off now let's go. Got that New York vibe, my roots is from Philly though. Let's make it official, no holding back, let's let the
Tell
world
me
know.
what you waiting on. You ain't gotta be my lover, we ain't gotta be together. We just need somebody better to lean on. And I think that that's you. Oh, baby, I can make you better. Got something to prove. You got nothing to lose. Want me seeing you, yeah. Oh, girl, you got nothing to lose. You got everything to get, yeah. Oh, girl, you got nothing to lose.
On you, I'm glad I took a chance. Know how to treat a lady, you know how to romance. Wanna know what's on my mind, I just tryna get in my pants. There's something about you that I noticed when I took a glance. I'm already complete, don't need you to make me whole. You stimulate me mentally by making love to my soul. My first crush, when I'm around you, I get a rush. I'm really digging the vibes and the feeling between us. I'm like the number one fan, being with you, that was the plan. I love the way you love me, we kissing and holding hands. Both go getters, so we stay hustling, making plans. Always keeping it real, so we both know where we stand. Got that bond between us, people wish they had. Every time you take me shopping, I just throw it in the bag. I ain't trying to brag, I've been waiting for so long. I'm just glad I finally got that somebody to lean
Tell
on.
me what you waiting on. You ain't gotta be my lover, we ain't gotta be together. We just need somebody better to lean on. And I think that that's you. Oh, baby, I can make you better. Got something to prove. You got nothing to lose. Want me seeing you, yeah. Oh, girl, you got nothing to lose. You got everything to get, yeah. Oh, girl, you got nothing to lose.
hope you enjoyed your time with From the Ground Up Productions. We'll see you next time. Be sure to add our channel to your Roku list and listen to us on all streaming platforms.
From the ground up. From the ground up. There's only one way to go from here.